Okay, so good evening, everyone. I see that we are live and just confirm. Okay, so Janam, the session we started off a bit late. I think it's 5 6 minutes delay in the session. Okay, the session is at 8 p.m. only. It was scheduled at 8 p.m. So people who have joined in, okay, and they can hear us, okay, can quickly confirm, okay, on whether you guys are able to hear us properly. Everything is fine. You guys can quickly confirm it once on the chat, on the message. All right. Hi, Sarthak. Good evening. Good evening. All right. Hi, Janam. Perfect. Perfect. So let us start. Okay, the discussion. Okay, and the reason why we have particularly arranged this session. Okay, so we also have Prashant sir with us. I think some of you must have definitely attended some of the sessions of Prashant sir. Okay, with regards to the group discussion, personal interview preparation. Now, the main. Okay, let me first brief you off on what all things we are going to discuss today. Okay, and the reason why we have come up live today is recently in the past 1 week of time. Okay, we have seen that the different IMs have started giving calls. Okay, so the cap round update has come up. Okay, for all the baby IMs. Okay, I'm Ahmedabad, Bangalore. Okay, so the calls for Lucknow, Indore is out. Okay, so these kind of things have already come up. Okay, students have started receiving the emails for it, and now when this thing comes up, okay, that is the time where students have another set of doubts and questions in their mind, that and if I put it in best way, that what next should we do? Okay, what is the best way to handle this application process? Okay, how we're supposed to fill these details and all of that. This is usually the second or rather the first step, in fact. Okay, once you get the emails. So what I would do in the first part is I'll keep it open. So Sarthak, Janam, any one of you, okay, in case you guys will definitely, I know that you guys will have any questions. You guys can, whenever during the session, okay, if you feel something is not covered, okay, you can put in your comment there, and we will definitely cover that in the discussion. Two major parts here. Okay, one is some of the IMs I know, particularly about IIM Vishakhapatnam, has asked for a statement of purpose. Now, statement of purpose, when that comes into picture, okay, there is. I have seen people doing very silly, or rather very some of the students do very stupid mistakes. Okay, by mentioning certain things in statement of purpose which should not be put at all. Okay, so and for colleges, okay, and for IMs which has not asked for a statement of purpose, understand guys, it is always good to have a statement of purpose in place. Why? Because that is giving you the clarity. Okay, even when you sit for your interview, at the time of your interviews or mock interviews also. Because what is a statement of purpose? Okay, let me put it very clear. What is a statement of purpose? Okay, a statement of purpose is, in a very simple, on a layman language, can tell you that why do you want to do something in your life. Okay, that's a purpose. Okay, is what they're asking you for. And what are you doing at this point of time? You are looking for a career growth. Okay, you are looking for to do an MBA program, okay, from one of the prestigious colleges of our country. So you have to give a reason for it, that why do you want to do that. Okay, why do you want to do that? Okay, like that. So many a times I see people giving details about their families, okay, and covering some of the incidents of their life before, which as such at times, okay, doesn't click with, or doesn't link with your career goals, okay, or the reason why you are applying to a particular course. Okay, so I'll give you some starting pointers, okay, or to be kept in mind when you have to write a statement of purpose. Okay, I'll give you certain basic standard points, and if you guys can make note of it, you guys can do that. Okay, and in case, okay, there's something that Prashant sir can also contribute, he will also add in there. Okay, so first point, okay, for the statement of purpose is this. Okay, that you need to do not directly go down, okay, and simply start writing a essay or a paragraph, okay, with regards to this. Okay, you need to understand that you need to first make up those high level basic pointers, structures, okay, that you want to add in your statement of purpose, the SOP. What is that? Basically, you need to have one thing for sure, okay, that what is your career goal? You should have clarity on that. Now, when I ask you, okay, let me, I want people to respond on that. Okay, so Sarthak, Janam, okay, whoever is there in the session, I want one thing, okay, to for you guys to respond. Tell me, if I tell you the, if I tell you to answer in one word, okay, just in one word, okay, that why do you want to do an MBA program? Okay, be it from IIM or SP Jain or FMS or whatever. Okay, if you I ask you what is the reason for you going for an MBA program, answer me in one word. Okay, what is going to be that one word? Any one of you here, okay, can answer it. If I ask you to answer it in one word itself, what is that? What I usually get to see is people saying placements, okay, which is the core reason that people think that sir ultimately तो हम पैसे के लिए कर रहे हैं, salary के लिए कर रहे हैं. Okay, I've done my engineering, I'm hardly getting 20,000 30,000. ठीक है सर, बॉम्बे में रह के तो सर खर्चा भी नहीं होता, आधा तो मेरा रेंट चला जाता है. People have those kind of things in their mind. Okay, so if I bring in that one word, anyone, okay, by the way, anyone who's able to say that career growth, better opportunity, knowledge, peer networking. Okay, awesome. All right, knowledge. Okay, good points. Okay, though I mean, and some of them are bang on, but there are the if I have to pick up from all these things, okay, one thing I would say that Abhishek is probably on the right path, which is like growth. Okay, because growth is something that you're looking for, and growth can happen in many ways. Growth in terms of your salaries, growth in terms of your knowledge, growth in terms of your network, okay, growth in terms of the opportunities that you want in your life to be coming in. So one word would be growth. Okay, now that is for sure that in your statement of purpose you need to find, or rather you need to mention the reason, okay, that why do you want to have this kind of a growth. Okay, a growth that a MBA college can give you, and you need to link that with your college first. Okay, you need to really link that with the college for which you are putting that SOP, because every college has got its own core values. Okay, has got its own you can say expertise in a particular area of management. Okay, I mean, for example, we know that the top IIM, which is Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, and all of that, they are among the best colleges in our country. It is there, but still, okay, when it comes to, let's say, for Calcutta campus, okay, we know that Calcutta is usually known a lot for finance. Okay, so it is somewhere that they have made their mark, okay, in a particular domain of management. So if at all when you're writing a SOP for a college, and if you're able to link your growth, okay, with that one thing that the college is known for, okay, that is where you're connecting the dots in the right manner. Okay, Prashant, on that, if at all you also have some point to add, okay, you can add in.
Yeah, sure. So, hi guys. So, just a small introduction of myself. So, my name is Prashant, and I have done my MBA from IIM Calcutta, and I'm from 2014 to 16 batch. And post that, I have worked with multiple companies, and currently I'm working with the PNG, Procter and Gamble. So, just to add on to Heather's point, one point is you should definitely have a statement of purpose. It does not matter if you have calls from colleges and they are asking for it or not asking for it. You should 100% have a statement of purpose, and I would say start working on it right now. Like from आज रात से start कर दो, because this is not something that you will be able to make in 1 day or 2 hours or 4 hours. First you will make a draft, then you will show it to some senior or to us, and we'll guide you better on how to make it better, how to make it precise. And it's not a easy thing to do, but you can do it very easily if you have a system for it. I mean, if you have right mentors, if you have right peers, you can do it. So it's not a difficult task if you have the right guidance. So my first suggestion to you would be start working on your statement of purpose right away. First, if you get a call from a campus where they are asking for it, it will be ready with you, and you can just tweak a little depending upon campus and go ahead and use it. Second, even if they don't do it, lot of your personal questions that are usually asked in the interview will be much easier to answer if you have statement of purpose ready in your mind. So a lot of questions will be covered from this perspective. And last and not the least, you will also get to know yourself when you are writing it. And why are you doing MBA, what can be, what do you really want. So you will also, for it's very good for yourself also to make the document ready as soon as possible. Yeah, Heather.
Yes, yes, yes. So here, one point that usually comes with regards to SOP, which we have been covered, is what you should definitely cover in your SOP. I'm giving you just three, four pointers. Okay, so you guys can make note of that. Okay, one that I said that is you need to link your career growth plan. Okay, with regards to the institute as such. Okay, the core values of the institute. Okay, if you can link that, okay, it's good. If you're not able to link, it is fine. It's not that it's a hard and fast rule. Okay, but definitely you should have very clear picture with regards to your career growth. Okay, like what kind of a career growth you are looking for, you should be clear with it. Okay, do not have very general answer. Okay, that you want to earn this much salaries and those kind of things should definitely not be mentioned. Okay, what you want to mention in terms of career growth is the kind of work, the kind of profile that you want to be at. Okay, after your MBA program. Okay, and obviously those kind of work profiles should match with the kind of things which the college offers. I mean, if you bring in something, okay, which the college is not offering, okay, then definitely your SOP will not be something that will be appreciated by the college. Okay, that's one very important point. The second important point is you need to have clarity with regards to the some of the previous incidents. If you want to quote in your life about your life, okay, or some of the core values of yourself, okay, that you want to highlight, you should have clarity on that. Okay, and you should have a very strong backing on your answer. Okay, if you say for example that you are a goal oriented person, okay, which in a way what happens is people are going to use these kind of jargons a lot. Okay, but the thing comes out to that when you're sitting down for an interview, they are going to check that when you write that you are going to be a, you are a what do you say, a career or goal oriented person, okay, result oriented person. They are going to ask you questions, okay, and they are going to check, okay, that whether are you really that kind of a person or not. And how do you back up your answer is by quoting certain incidents. So you should be clear with those kind of things. Okay, that if you are telling about yourself that you are a certain kind of a person, how do you back it up? Okay, what is the story that you have, okay, at your level to back it up? Because those kind of things will also come in your mock interviews. All right, so that is why we are saying that, okay, put in these points, okay, in your SOP. And as sir said, okay, it is not something that you sit down, okay, at one time and things are done. You will have multiple sittings. Okay, in fact, you yourself, when you write it down, you will see that you can have multiple versions. Okay, which you will only improve at your level. And when you come up with the best possible version of your SOP, get in touch with the mentors. Okay, that is why I said that, okay, all the details would always be there in our link. Okay, the WhatsApp numbers are there. Okay, you can get in touch with the mentors. Okay, we are anyways going to start with our program in a certain time. Okay, wherein we'll also have discussion on some of the sessions with regards to how do we, what knowledge you should have with regards to finance, marketing, operations, okay, different colleges. Okay, also with regards to the current affairs, to what level you should be having clarity on those current affairs. Okay, all those things. Okay, we are planning certain sessions which will also be covered. Okay, however, at this point of time, the very first step is to start working on the statement of purpose. I will tell you, take a 2 to 3 days of time at max, okay, to draft the best possible the version at your side. And then probably I think this is 17th. Okay, you guys can, if you have deadline, I think 21st is the deadline for some of the IMs that they have given you. So I think if you guys want to share your version of SOP with us, okay, you can drop in us on the WhatsApp numbers that is already shared. Okay, by around by tomorrow or by 19th also, if you can do, we can help you with that. Perfect. So that's about the SOP front, guys. Okay, now getting into the next phase. After SOP, what is that you need to do? One thing that very commonly you must have heard, okay, and we have also covered that in a previous session, is you need to be updated with things going around you. Okay, but understand you are now going for a B school discussion, okay, where you're going, okay, you have the MBA aspirants who are coming up, okay, they are coming up from well backgrounds, okay, so the level of information, okay, that needs to be that you should have, okay, should not be something which is very generic and what normally people have. So you should have that detailed observation on the current affairs. Okay, when I say current affairs, let's say the very common topic that you are going to expect this year is about the pandemic, again the COVID situation which is there, and how different countries, especially India, okay, and all of them have handled it. Another major news is going to be about the US elections, okay, which was one of the major things of the 2020, okay, and then the after effects of the election which is currently happening, okay, those kind of things. Now, but when I say the details to it, okay, when I say details to it, okay, what you should be equipped with, okay, is about the information on how the economy has been affected, okay, with regards to COVID, okay. If you have certain numbers with regards to the drop in the GDP, okay, or the growth rate which has come down, okay, those numbers, okay, some numbers with regards to the job loss, okay, on the other side also the better side of it. It's not that everywhere COVID has affected in a bad manner. There are certain domains of businesses which have done really well, okay. Some of the businesses, okay, have grown, have shown like best of the growth probably in the previous years. They didn't have that and they got those kind of growth this year. So you should talk about that. That means it is not only about one part. The more variety and flavor that you are able to add to your discussion, it is better. Okay, on that, let's say for example, okay, because Prashant comes from the corporate background, okay, as of now is still in the corporate, okay, so he can definitely add in more with regards to how the different sectors of businesses, okay, have responded to the COVID situation this time. So Prashant, you can give your take on that.
Yeah, sure. So, so to start with, uh, first of all, try to understand that be it COVID or be it any topic in GD or in PI, it always helps if you have knowledge of multiple perspectives and not just one notion that this is what I know and this is what I'm going to talk about. It's always helps. And to develop that, it's very important to first read a lot and get right guidance, which will help you in developing that multiple perspectives. Now, coming to Heather's question on, let's say, if you talk about COVID, so how COVID has impacted businesses, it's a very in-depth and detailed topic in itself. Now, if you want to understand that topic in detail, you need to break this up into multiple parts. How COVID has changed businesses. So primarily you can say businesses which were dependent upon uh, people coming together and do something, people going out and do something, people coming closer and do something, have been impacted in a major negative way. Like for example, airlines, tours, travel, restaurants, cinema halls. That is a bigger division. And businesses which which were not dependent upon people coming together. I mean, it's rather they can grow their business even if nobody is talking to each other. Those business have like boomed very well, and the examples would be all the e-commerce, Amazon, Flipkarts of the world, and then Zomato, Swiggy's of the world, and many other online companies. So that is one way to look. That is just one angle. Another angle to this would be kind of sectors. So, for example, pharma sector, FMCG sector, essential sectors have boomed really well, because when people are not going to go out or there is a job loss, people will not stop buying essential goods, but they will buy less of luxury goods. So all those things which come in luxury items, will their sale will go down, and all the items which come in essential goods like pharmacies, medicines, and basic food items, their sale will go up. For example, Maggie sale would have gone way up because people are not sitting at home and they want to cook, they want to eat ready-made meals, and that's why they're buying a lot of Maggie. That could be one example. At the same time, people will not be so much interested in buying cars. I mean, now there's an increase in sales, but at least for past 6 months there was slowdown. And similarly, makeup. So girls were not buying a lot of makeup because they were not going outside. So since nobody is going outside, they are using less makeup. So this is another angle to it. So similarly, you need to understand that every topic that you get in a discussion, in an interview, can have multiple angles. And the more angles, more perspective you know, it helps you make a better impression. And this was just one of the examples on how COVID has impacted various sector and businesses. Yeah, Haider.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, yeah. And I think that, I mean, if we bring it to this way that when this is also one of the main reasons why students go lack of content, okay, when they're discussing, okay, because they are not able to bring a variety in their thoughts, okay, with regards to what all things needs to be added in their conversation, okay, in the discussion, because all these things is really going to matter even in your VAT, okay, because I know a lot of colleges now, okay, a lot of IIMs have got a VAT instead of GD, okay, which is nothing but okay, like just in GD, because you have a group discussion where you have group dynamics also coming into picture. Though the content really matters a lot in GD also, okay, wherein the variety, the more the content that you bring in, the better it is. The same way, even in VAT, you have the same thing. The more variety you bring in, it's better. So be it a very common topic like COVID, okay, on which as sir said, okay, that we can talk about in terms of the consumer behavior, okay, which is about the cosmetics and all that, okay, about gathering is one of the aspect, okay, sectors is another other aspect, okay. These are some of the ways, okay. I'm sure, okay, some of you must have heard, okay. If not, okay, then I can guide you with that. There is also a acronym, okay, used as spelt, okay, or some people use it pestle, okay, wherein what happens is you each of these terms is stands for a particular thing, okay, which I can just put it on the comment section here, okay, once I complete my explanation. So basically it talks about, when I say, let's say, spelt, okay, so S would stand as a social, political, okay, economic, legal, technology, okay. These are the points. Now let's say we can talk about COVID itself, okay, at this point of time that we are discussing, okay. Now there are, if we try to bring, okay, and I would want here people who are there, okay, you guys can contribute and have a live check on how we can have a variety of discussion, okay, on a very common topic like COVID, okay. So what it means, like spelt, I'm just repeating again, okay. So what you are supposed to do is you are supposed to think on these five different lines, okay. These five different lines you're supposed to think on a particular topic. That means the social impact, okay, the political impact, okay, the legal impact, the economic impact, and the technology impact, okay. And on this, okay, I would just want to have, let's say, a quick kind of a mock, okay, just wherein we, if your students who are there, you guys can start putting in some of your observations or some of your comments with regards to these 5 points, okay. Let's just start with social first. What were the different social impacts of pandemic, okay, or COVID situation that we had? What were the different social impact, okay? When I say social impact, okay, people would link it with different things, okay, and it's not that social impact means only talking about the social gatherings, okay, and social media, okay. Everything can be covered in this, okay. You can talk about social media in this, you can talk about social gatherings in this. One of the very good way about is about the show, about the society issues that you can bring in with, that can also be a very good point, wherein a common point here that comes up first in the mind is basically the different economic backgrounds, okay. Let's say, the you can say the poverty line, can be one of the major factors to be considered here. So people who are below poverty line, they were the first set of people, okay, to be impacted, okay. Then, because if you consider in terms of the economic background, okay, you have lower income group, okay, you have middle income group, you have no the middle, upper middle, okay, and then you have the upper income group. So obviously the first set of people to be impacted were the lower income group, okay, and then you can bring in certain numbers, okay, because in our country also there are certain geographies which provide more of the lower income group, okay, and how they were impacted, okay, and how, what is the health concerns and those kind of things, you can bring in that as a social point, okay. That also impacted the economy of each of the states separately, okay, because there are a lot of states, okay, which had which were majorly dependent on agriculture, okay, so that was taking a setback, okay. But on the other side, if you see, the agriculture distribution and all those kind of businesses, okay, were doing really good, okay, because obviously that was a part of the essential services. So you can talk about those in terms of the economic background. Let's say talk about the legal background. So can anyone by any chance, because I've given you two examples, by any chance, okay, because legal is something which a lot of people are not able to come up with. Okay, what was a legal point, okay, a legal perspective that you can bring with regards to COVID? Anyone here? Okay, Sarthak, Sejal, Janam, Vinay, anything? A legal perspective, okay, to COVID situation. All right, anyone? What could be a legal perspective or a legal impact, okay, that was brought in, that people had to suffer or people faced, okay, as a challenge with regards to COVID as a situation? If anyone would want to add certain points on the legal front, because this is how we are just kind of pushing you guys to think, okay, on different lines. Okay, we're just pushing you to think on different lines. Okay, this is what we are doing. So Abhishek, Vinay, Sarthak, anything that comes in your mind, okay, you can just share it. Meanwhile, okay, let me put one thing here, okay, with regards to the legal perspective. You must have seen a lot because businesses were impacting, and most of the businesses, or rather, no, you must have seen that in malls, particularly. Okay, these shops, okay, which are there, they are majorly on a lease. Okay, and the businesses which had a huge properties, okay, where you can say, like, 10,000 square feet or 20,000 lakhs of square feet of spaces which were on lease, okay, suddenly they were not in a position to pay back, and then there was a clause of force majeure. Okay, I'm not sure whether how many of you are aware of this. Okay, but there's a clause, the legal clause of force majeure, which was not put by a lot of people in their agreements. Okay, in the legal clauses. And now and suddenly after COVID situation, okay, the force majeure clause has become really really important. What does the force majeure clause say? Are you guys even aware of that? Now these are the technicalities, okay, these are the varieties that you can bring in your discussion. Okay, a force majeure clause, okay, of the legal agreement tells you this, that in case of a act of God or anything which is a natural calamity, okay, the person who is occupying, okay, the tenant, okay, is not liable to pay the rent. Okay, is not liable to pay the rent. Okay, now how do you define that certain thing is an act of God or not? Now that is another question. Okay, are you going, who's going to define that? So that comes from the government side. If the government has certified or no have put up a notification that this thing is an act of God, okay, on which the government itself is providing relief fund, treatments and all that, those kind of things will be called as a act of God. So these are certain very nice points, okay, that you can bring in, okay, from the legal perspective also. So I think, okay, some people are saying salary employees, okay, crime rate reduced, positive in that way, but because a number of previous court cases would have piled up. Yeah, so these points are also there. Okay, I'm not saying that any of these points are not so. The best part is there's nothing right or wrong, simple as that. Okay, there is nothing right or wrong when it comes to a discussion. It's just that what point is a better point, okay, what point is not a better point, what point a lot of people are going to talk about. So try to be unique there. Try to be unique there. So if I say this point of force measure on the legal front, okay, probably not many people are going to discuss this. And you are going to have the brownie point, okay, of bringing this into picture. Okay, probably a crime rate or a salary impact would be a little common point that people will bring in. So these are the ways that you're supposed to think differently, guys. Okay, this is a very very important point. Okay, great. So now that we have taken an example of it, okay, as I said, okay, we in our detailed program, what we'll do is we'll take a series of sessions, okay, wherein we'll be discussing about some of the major current affairs topics, and we'll be covering that in the best possible manner so that you get an idea that how you are supposed to prepare on that. All right. Okay, perfect. So this is where we cover the second part of the topic that we wanted to cover today. The next part is where we get into the technical topics, okay, on which someone is supposed to prepare. When I say technical topics, it is something related to the different domains of businesses. Okay, different domains of businesses such as marketing, operations, finance, okay, HR, data analytics, okay, digital marketing. All of this has now come up. Okay, now you are supposed to be good at no, at least if not all, okay, but you should have some information about all of this. You can't say that you have no clue about HR at all. You're an engineer guy. You have worked in automobile companies. So sir, HR क्या होता है? हमको कुछ नहीं पता. I just know that HR is the person who gives salaries or take interviews. Those kind of reactions should not be there. Okay, when you're going for a management program, it is expected that you know very well what are the basic roles of each of these business domains. Okay, that is first. And next level is this, that then you should have pick up that what is your area of interest. Okay, don't be very specific about one thing. At least have two things in hand and know a little depth in that. Okay, when I say depth, that means you should be aware of certain basic terminologies. Okay, certain basic current affairs related to that particular domain. Those kind of things should be something that you should be aware of. Okay, so Prashant, let's say if you pick up any of these domains, okay, what would be your take, that what is the level at which someone should prepare?
Okay, so I divide that question into two things. One,
Yeah.
a function that you want to join or you are interested in. So
Mhm.
the most common phenomena at B school is that the people were working in IT and now they want to move into finance. Or people were working in a manufacturing company, now they want to move into sales and marketing function. So,
Mhm.
in whatever field you are planning to, or at least say in the interview that this is the field I want to join, this is the area where I want to build my career. For that field, you should have a certain level of depth. I'm just giving an example. Let's say
Yeah.
a typical example. A lot of people join TCS, Wipro, and these companies, and then they realize this is not the best company in the world, and then they go for MBA. And so people from IT background, when they join B schools, so one question that comes in, that you are working in an IT company, why MBA? And then
Yeah.
you have to have a goal in mind that I'm doing it, and you cannot say that IT is a waste and it's of no use. You can't give answers like this. So you have to build on that. I like IT. There are things that I've learned, and now I want to build my career into either some function based on IT or maybe a new function like sales and marketing. Then that question will definitely come: why sales and marketing, or why sales, or why finance? If you are already an IT person, already an IT employee, in that case you need to have an in-depth knowledge at why finance. You cannot say finance because I look at stock market and that is why I want to be in finance, or I want to earn money, I want to become a banker, that is why I want to be in finance. You really need to know what finance people do, what are different roles in finance, what are different functions in finance. So in finance also you have multiple roles and functions. So which roles excites you and why? So you can say, I mean, the answer could be like, I like playing with numbers, I like understanding finance in detail, that is why I want to be a investment banker, because I like to analyze data, I want to get into detail of how things works, I like to see things in frameworks. So you need to know what do you want to become, what is required to become that person or to reach that goal, and then what all skills you need to build to reach that level, and then you link those needs to the MBA. That since I want to do this, that is why I want to do MBA, because I will be able to learn these things, and that is why I'm here. So that is the minimum that you should know or talk about when in the field you want to enter. Now, apart from that, let's say you want to go into sales and marketing or finance. Apart from that, also you should be able to have a broad idea of other functions, so that you can say, like, for example, if they are the same example I gave you of finance, the examiner can ask that same things you can get in consulting also, same thing you can get in sales and marketing also. So why finance? Same data, numbers, everything you can get in consulting also. Then you should know that why not consulting and why this. So to get that understanding, you need to have a small, at least a broad detail of all the functions, and the best way to get that is talk to people in those domains. So get a mentor, get a guide who can tell you a broad detail about these functions. So, and this is not just for interview, this is help you also in making a better career decision, that in which function I want to go, and why am I going there. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, in fact, no, at this point of time, when you have just worked, let's say, no, just 1 or 2 years in corporate, okay, after your graduation, be it engineering or a non-engineering program, whatever you have done, what a lot of students fail to understand is that each of these different domains, which is finance, marketing, operations, HR, these are very closely linked. Okay, at this point of time, with just 2 years or 3 years or 1 year of experience, okay, it becomes a little difficult for you guys to look at that level. Okay, but eventually when you spend more time in corporate after your MBA, you will realize that each of these things have got a very strong correlation. And in case you are not aware of any of these domains, okay, you would not be a very good holistic manager of a business. Okay, and then that is why we are bringing this point, that it is really really important to appreciate each of these domains of businesses. Okay, Vinay is having a question meanwhile, saying that same kind of question: engineering 20 months, sales experience. Okay, agriculture. So I think Vinay, that is what you are saying is a very common thing that a lot of people would have. Okay, let me give you my profile. Okay, I think then Prashant sir can also guide from his side. Okay. So if you just see my profile overall, okay, so I've done civil engineering first, okay, uh, and which has probably nothing to do with what I'm doing in my life right now. Okay, so I've done civil engineering first. Okay, then I worked on national highway projects. Okay, that was the second thing that I did in terms of my work after engineering. Okay, I got to work with National Highway Authorities of India. Okay, wherein I worked on those NH projects. So, and after that, I went for an MBA program. Okay, and in MBA, I mastered in marketing. Okay, and my minors was operations. So, how is that linked to, like, I working in on national highway projects? Okay, how would you link that with marketing? Okay, at that point of time, okay, that was a big question in my mind also. Okay, and after that, what did I do? After that, I got placed in Deloitte Consulting. Okay, and where I was majorly doing no management consulting towards majorly taking care of the operation side of the business. Okay, so from a civil engineer to doing working on national highway projects, okay, to having a marketing specialization, and then working on operations management consulting. Okay, so look at the overall, like the entire variety, okay, of the kind of work that I've worked on. Okay, and if you see, okay, mostly all of the candidates who get into these B schools will have almost a similar journey. Okay, that they start off with something, okay, get into something else, okay, and then get into something else, and that's how they grow in their career. Okay, what you're supposed to do at this point of time is you are supposed to identify that how you can link them. Each of them can definitely be linked. Okay, there's nothing in the world, okay, which you cannot link with regards to your career growth. Everything can be connected if at all you feel that it is the right thing. Okay, I mean, I understand that, if I wanted to do marketing, okay, probably when I was at the age of 15 or 17, at that point of time I didn't know much about marketing. Okay, and I chose a career option which seemed to be good. Okay, and I went for that. Okay, but eventually when I developed myself, okay, in my during my graduation time, I eventually got exposure to things, and then I identified something, and that's how happens, that's how things happen, and you identify your area of interest. Okay, and that's how you keep on exploring yourself. Okay, but the point is this, that why are you doing that thing? That part should be clear, that why I'm marketing at this point of time. So over there you will find certain incidents that you can bring in. Okay, certain part of your reading, okay, or your exposure to life, okay, that gave you that realization. Those kind of things, okay, should be very justified in your SOP as well, in your interview discussions as well. Okay, and I think that is where you need those mentors, okay, who can guide you. Okay, in fact, specifically telling about what Prashant sir just mentioned about different domains of business also, when and especially that is something that we also do. Okay, what we do is in the sessions that we plan in our GDPI discussion, okay, GDPI preparation, we bring in people who have the best experience, okay, working in the best of the corporates in a particular domain. For example, last year we had Mr. Naki, who was at that point of time, he was the AVP of AVP HR, okay, Assistant Vice President HR, okay, and Dr. Reddy's. and he was the one who gave a detailed session, okay, of what to expect in HR, okay, what are things you should know when you're going for a MBA interview, what are things you should know with regards to human resources and all that. So likewise, we had people coming from different backgrounds. Okay, I know Shashank sir was there, who came in from I think Yes Bank. Okay, he's a NITI alumni. He was the one who took session on finance. So what happens is when you get in touch with these domain experts, okay, all of them coming from management backgrounds, MBA backgrounds, they will tell you details about each of these industries, each of these domains, and that will give you the clarity of why you should do something and why you should not do something. Okay, you can link it with your own interest. Okay, so that's why it's going to be really interesting. Okay, if you guys are a part of that particular series of sessions, okay, that we have planned, okay, getting in touch with the domain experts. Again, the same thing. Okay, for those details, okay, you can get in touch on the WhatsApp numbers which is given there. Okay, and that is definitely going to help you a lot. Karan said, electronics communication engineering, working on a market research consulting for past 18 months. How to make a career consultant? Which specialization should I choose? All right. So, Karan, on that, okay, with regards to management consulting, understand management. What is the management consulting? What is the consulting job is all about? I mean, being from a consulting background, I can just put it in a very concise manner. Is basically you are nothing but a doctor of business, right? Like being a consulting, your job is to advise. Okay, that's what you're doing. Consulting. You're advising basically. Now different companies will have different domains, and you would always specialize. Eventually when you get into job, you will specialize in a certain domain of consulting. You will not be one who's consulting over all the domains. Okay, so it's not that you this particular specialization which is given a lot of preference. Okay, it's nothing like that when it comes to consulting. What consulting really wants is people who have got experiences. Okay, they will have the eye for observation for business details. That is the major thing, because when a Deloitte comes and hires or picks up candidates for consulting role, okay, at that point of time they are not clear that whether they are going to put you in a finance role or a marketing role. Okay, many a time they just pick it up, okay, and then eventually they will train you and put it up in a certain domain of business consulting. At times they pick you for a certain role also, that also depends, but however your specialization is not going to be a real make or break, okay, for getting into a consulting thing. What is going to be a make or break is your eye for observation in business processes. So I would say that to get into consulting, what you should be master of is about business processes. So read a lot about business processes, okay, learn things about business processes. Okay, that is more important. Now business process in marketing is going to be different, in operations, in finance is going to be different. So be a master of business processes. Okay, that is something that is going to really help you crack a consulting job. Perfect. So Prashant, okay, anything from your side that you would want to cover, okay, that you think that students should take care at this point of time?
So, one point on the question that people are asking, and I'm sure others will also have this thought or this question, that I'm doing something now and I want to do something after MBA, and which specialization to choose and what to do, what is the right answer. So, I'll just there's no first of all there's no specific answer to this, but I'll just tell you one learning that I recently got from a book called Range. There's a book called Range. If you read non-fiction books, you should definitely read it. It's a book by David Epstein. The name is Range. And in this whole book, what he talks about is that in this world, in this ever-changing world, specialization is actually overrated. Big companies or tough problem solving requires generalization, which means we need people who know a little bit of everything. So these are the people who really make it in these times, because two reasons. One, specialized knowledge in today's time is a very you can say linear thinking, and it could be easily automated by AI. And but if you have a generalized experience of problem solving, that is very difficult to get from AI. And also, as the problem becomes more and more complex, you need multiple thoughts, multiple perspectives, as I was talking about earlier, which will really help you. Now, why am I telling you about this story is, remember that whatever experience you have, and Hazard also touched upon this, that earlier he was a civil engineer, then he moved to MBA, then consulting and doing this. So on the surface of it, look like whatever Heather is doing now has nothing to do with whatever he has done earlier. But in reality, it is not so, because every experience counts. Every experience makes you learn something in your next career move, or in your next personal or professional life. Now, for you, it is very important that understanding this, articulating this, and practicing this multiple times. Like, what have I done? What do I want to do? And how MBA will help me. So that part is really important for every one of you. Like, and it does not matter what you have done and what you want to do. You could have done anything. You can do anything. I mean, I have seen people in my experience after MBA, people going from IT to finance, sales to IT, and all sorts of changes people do, and they get really good jobs also in that, and they good well in their jobs also. The only thing you need to do at this point of time is the same thing with which I started today's session, the statement of purpose part. It should be very clear in your mind. Where are you right now in life? What do you want to do? And how you are going to reach there? And how an MBA will help you. So that is what you need to be very clear about. And this will help you in your interviews. This will help you in your SOP. And this will also help you in your real life to think in the right direction. Yeah, Heather, that's it.
Yeah, thanks, Prashant. Okay, one thing when you're saying this, okay, I remember this was one practice that I did at that point of time, okay, which I think I didn't cover today. So as a closing note, okay, I'll give this thing, okay, which is a to do action, okay, to get this clarity what Prashant sir just mentioned, okay, that where you are right now, where you want to be, and for that what you should do now, okay, to connect these three things, okay, to connect these three things, one good way is to go on LinkedIn, okay. And how does a LinkedIn help you in that? For example, a random thought that you have in mind that you want to be a, let's say, a marketing manager in HUL, okay, Hindustan Lever, okay, you want to be a marketing manager. But do you really know what does this guy who's a marketing manager at HUL would do? Are you even aware of that? Probably no, because you are right now just a 1 year experienced guy or probably fresher guy who's just studying, in his engineering college, or has just worked on a very technical IT role, okay, of TCS or something. He has no clue what a marketing manager would do, okay, at a level of, or rather, a brand manager or a financial, finance analyst would do in a JP Morgan. You would not know all of that in very technical terms. Okay, you would have a layman answer to it, okay, but in technical terms you might not know about it, okay. How does the LinkedIn help you? You just go to LinkedIn, okay, you can do a random search with regards to profiles and companies. You will see a list of people coming up there, okay. Just open their profiles, okay. Down there you will see the job responsibilities. You will see that the core skills. In fact, that's the best way, the core skills part, okay, in LinkedIn, that gives you that specific keywords, okay, that some skills which people have. Okay, now that will give you, firstly, when you look at the job responsibilities, that will give you the clarity of what kind of work actually these people are doing when they're sitting in that company, okay, at that position. That gives you a little bit of clarity, okay. And as I said, that in the series of discussions where we have the industry experts coming in and then taking sessions on a particular thing, there you can bring these points and say, this is what something I read, okay, and I wanted to know a bit more of that, what exactly did it mean, because I understand probably not all of the points that you read on LinkedIn is going to make sense, okay, to you at least, okay, when you don't have exposure to that, okay. So that is where a mentor who has got experience, okay, who has worked at that level, can help you and guide you, and that is where you're intellectually growing and you're able to link the points and you bring in these points in an interview. I'm telling that this is going to be the perfect answer to show the clarity of your career growth, okay. Great, guys. I think we covered all the points, okay, that we intended to, okay. In case you have any questions, you can bring in at this point of time, okay. Vinay, Karan, okay, anything that you think that is not covered, you can just post here quickly, okay. We can take a Q&A quickly for a 5 6 minutes, like that. Anything which is there, and in case you've missed any of the comments, okay, I think we haven't missed anything, okay, perfect. So we covered most of the things, okay. Any questions, guys? Let us know quickly in the comment section. If there's something, we can quickly take them. And one thing that I had, which was something that I think someone pinged me on WhatsApp just now. Okay, I think I can answer that also. is the further action points with regards to the sessions and how to prepare and all that. Okay. I think Sarthak is asking, do we need to follow structure or chronology for SOP? Yes, Sarthak. Okay, there is going to be definitely a structure to SOP and chronology to be set and all of that, which is definitely there. Okay, and a lot of time people goof up on that. Okay, so that is where, okay, the further action point is also there. Okay, the sessions that we have planned, okay, we will be updating that on our website also. We'll be updating that on the different WhatsApp groups. Okay, so if at all you are not a part of any of the MBAP WhatsApp groups, okay, as I said, okay, you can join in the WhatsApp groups, which is down there. The link might be given there. Okay, you can ping on those numbers also and join the group. So the further sessions will be updated to you probably by tomorrow itself. You will get the update. Where in the series of sessions, okay, you will get exposure to SOP. You will get exposure to each of these business domains. Okay, by talking to the industry experts. Okay, all of these sessions are planned and then followed by a series of sessions, or rather one-on-one mock. Okay, which is going to be specific to the college that you have got. Okay, so because every college somewhere has got a little niche with regards to what they ask. Okay, we know that when it comes to Ahmedabad, okay, what exactly, okay, they would see. Okay, when it comes to, let's say, a baby IIM, how they would judge. When it comes to a FMS or a NITI, okay, for that matter, how are they going to, what kind of questions that are going to ask you. Okay, so those kind of things will also be told to you first, okay, in a series of sessions, and then you will be given time and material to prepare on. Okay, and then eventually you will have the mock interviews. It's not that you'll have one mock interview, you'll have a series of mock interviews, you'll have a series of VAT sessions wherein you'll write the VAT. It will be checked by the faculty right away there, and then the best VAT format and the answer will also be given to you in that session. So get in touch with the mentors, okay, through the WhatsApp links which is there. Okay, join the MBAP groups so that you are in touch with us, okay, for the further guidance that we can offer you. Perfect. I think that covers everything. Thanks everyone for joining in. Okay, thanks Prashant. Okay, for joining in and putting up your valuable insights. Okay, guiding students, and we hope to continue guiding students further in the same fashion.
Sure, Ratan. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks everyone. All the best. Bye bye.